Alright, so this recording is relating to section 3.4, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over the word problems that we covered in class, and hopefully this will stick. And you can always have the notes with you, to remind you what to do when. And so we'll talk. Here we go with the notes. Let's see. I'm trying to erase here. I'll go back to the top. Let's see. I think we started with the hot dog question, so I'll start with that one. This was example 1, so let me take you back. We'll do that one step by step. Alright, so the hot dog question, when you see a question like this, the first thing I want you to do is focus on what the two variables are. Okay? So you are at an amusement park. You want to buy 4 hot dogs, 2 drinks, and you know that it's going to cost you $22. So what my two variables are is H for hot dog. I'm going to use D for drink. Okay, and so those are my two variables. According to the first scenario, if I buy 4 hot dogs plus 2 drinks, that is going to cost me $22. I really can't do much with that yet. So I need at least another equation, right? There's your second equation. If I purchase 3 hot dogs and 3 drinks, well, that is going to cost me $21. So now I have a system of equations, and what we want to do is find the cost per hot dog and the cost per drink. So in other words, what does H equal? What does D equal? You can see that these are quantities. I'm buying 4 and 2 of respectively, and 3 and 3 respectively. Those are quantities. That's what these coefficients are at the moment. What I need to know is how much do they cost per dollar. So because I have 2 variables and I have coefficients in front of each, what I would suggest is that you cancel one of the variables out. You can choose to cancel the H, making them one of them negative, one of them positive, but to do so you have to have the same value as far as the coefficient, so you have to build it up. So I'm looking at the 4H, and I'm thinking that if I multiply this by -3, and if I multiply the bottom equation by 4, you'll notice this is going to give me -12H, and this is going to give me +12H, and that's what you're trying to accomplish. The other option, and obviously you would multiply across with the -3 on here for all of the variables, right? So all the variables get the -3. Over here, all the variables get multiplied by -4. But if instead I decide to cancel out drink, then what I'm going to do is I look at a 2 and a 3, and I'm thinking, okay, one of them has to be negative, one of them has to be positive, and I'm thinking 6 would work. So if I did -3 for the top and 2 for the bottom, then the variable that would cancel would be drink, and then I would solve for hot dog. So you choose which one you want to do, which one's easier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to continue with drink. Alright, and so I'll distribute that negative to all 3 terms, so 3 times, -3 times 4H, that gives me -12H. -3 times +2D, that gives me -6D. And then -3 times 22, you're going to get, this is equal to -66. Alright, and then I'll redistribute here, the 2, redistribute the 2. And then 2 times 3H, that gives me 6H. 2 times 3D, that gives me +6D. And 2 times 21, that gives me 42. Alright, and now I combine. This is the addition part. This is the addition method part. So you have to sort of set it up so that you can do the addition, and then you have these variables canceling. So if you notice, the 6D cancels. This leaves you with -6H equals to, and this is going to leave you negative, it looks like 24, Alright, and so next step would be to divide by negative 6 on both sides, leaving me h is equal to 4. Now that I know h is equal to 4, I don't need to do anything else, I just need to plug it in. So you could choose either this equation if you wish, or this equation if you wish. Your choice. But you go back to the original equation. So let's say I choose the top one. I'm going to go 4 times the 4, which is this substituted in, plus 2 times drink is equal to 22. Remember, you're using the original equation. This gives you 16 plus 2d is equal to 22. You're going to subtract 16 on both sides. This will cancel. So you're left with 2 drink. I'm looking over here. 2 drinks, and 2 drinks is equal to, it looks like 6. 22 minus 16 will give you 6. And so therefore divide by 2 on both sides, and you get drink is equal to 3. So each hot dog is costing you $4, and each drink is costing you $3. Okay? And that's what you were looking for. That's the cost per hot dog, that's the cost per drink. I gave you a second example here. I'll work that one out again with you. Let's take a look at that. And so if you want to try it first, pause the video, and then you can work it out, and then restart the video and look at the answer and see if you got the answer correct. And that's the beauty of having a recording, right? Okay, so again, our variables as you read the question is still hot dogs and drink. So H for hot dog, and D for drink. Okay, so now you have your variables. Then the quantity, I have 5 hot dogs and 1 drink is $22. 5 hot dogs, 1 drink, $22. You need a second equation to be able to solve for this, because if not, you just have a quantity and a couple of variables, which you can't do much with. So the hint, or the next part would be 2 hot dogs, 3 drinks. So 2 hot dogs plus 3 drinks, and that should be $14. Okay, this is where you need to come in and make a decision. Do you want to use substitution method, or do you want to use addition method? The reason why I introduced that here is because that is 1D, that's just 1. So you can solve for D and call it 22 minus 5H, and then just substitute this in here. So that is an option. If you wish to do that, in that case that will become 2H plus 3 times 22 minus 5H is equal to 14. Again, this is substitution method because you have a single variable, if there is no coefficient next to it. So if I distribute the 3, I'm going to get 2H plus 66 minus 15H is equal to 14. And if I combine the H's, so I'm going to combine this H and this H, keep in mind that's a negative, you're going to get 66 minus 13H is equal to 14. And so your next step here should be to subtract 66 on both sides, right? And then this will cancel, leaving you negative 13H is equal to negative 52. You then divide by negative 13, and you end up with H is equal to 4 again. If I know H is 4, I can substitute that into either one of these two. So I'm going to use the bottom one. I'm going to go with 2 times 4 plus 3 times D is 14. Notice that you get 8 plus 3d is 14. If I subtract 8 on both sides, this will cancel. This leaves you 3d is equal to 6, and therefore d is equal to 2, because I'm going to divide by 3 on both of those two terms. So hot dog is $4, and the drink is 2. Okay. I'm going to push up. I'm going to do the next question. And we're going to do the movie popcorn and soda question. So let me move this up so we have a nice workspace to deal with. Alright, here we are. Alright, so I'm looking at the question. At a movie theater, Tom spent $15.50 on 3 soft drinks and 2 boxes of popcorn. Another person by the name of Carly bought 5 drinks and 1 box of popcorn for a total of $16.50. Find the cost of each. So again, step 1, identify your variables. So he bought soft drinks and popcorn. Carly bought soft drinks and popcorn. So your 2 variables are soft drinks and popcorn. Give them a label. So I used P for popcorn, and I used D for drink again. And now I need the quantity. So we'll look at Tom's expenditure. Tom purchased 3 soft drinks, so Tom is 3D plus 2P, and he spent $15.50. Okay, Carly bought 5 drinks, she was really thirsty, and 1 box of popcorn, and her total was $16.50. And so we're trying to figure out, in this case, which best method to use. So unlike the previous example where I said to you, okay, you have a single variable, let's go ahead and use substitution. We are going to build up the equation, and 1 second. Hello. 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. Okay, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply all of this by -2 instead to build it up and then break it down. So this is going to give me -10d minus 2p equals, this will be 33, because 1650 times 2 is 33. Okay, so now I'm looking at these 2 sentences. I'm looking at this sentence and I'm looking at this sentence. And I want to combine those 2 because I've already broken this one down, right? That's what that became. Alright, and so now I have -7d. The p's have now canceled. And 33 minus 1550, that's going to give you 1750. Last step, divide by -7 on both sides. So you end up with d is equal to $2.50. Okay, if d is 250, then you can use either one of the original equations. So just for the record, the original equation here for these 2 are the 5d plus p is 1650, and this one up here, which we modified just slightly, which is 2p, 3d plus 2p is 1550. Choose one of them, and let's substitute. So you get 3 times 250 plus 2p is equal to 1550. Alright, and so this gives you 750 plus 2p is equal to 1550. If I subtract 750 on both sides of this equation, I get 2p is equal to 8, and therefore p is equal to 4. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here. So I have a student waiting for me, and I'll re-record the rest, but at least this is the first couple of questions.